Look, the vice president and I have been clear. The restoration of Roe versus Wade is what we're asking for.
But that law goes far beyond Roe v. Wade.
To make her own choice. The law is very clear. That was been debunked on every occasion.
But wait, what you signed is there's not a single limit through 9 months of pregnancy. Roe had a trimester framework that did have limits through the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that.
Donald Trump's asking for a nationwide abortion ban.
Wait, he has said that he has said repeatedly that he will not sign a national abortion ban. Are you calling that just, it's a flat out lie?
Today, Junior?
Yes, of course. States like Georgia force women to cross the border, and then we have a death of Amber Thurman.
But what her family has said is it was a complication from an abortion pill that she received, and she didn't get proper care when she went to a Georgia hospital, which had multiple opportunities to intervene there. So just to be clear on the Georgia law and how her family and her attorney sees it.
You've heard me mention this before. Desperation is a stinky cologne, and over the weekend, the Kamala Harris team must have seen the polling. Not that kind of polling, but their media blitz over the weekend couldn't have gone worse. You know it's bad if Tim Walz is going on Fox News. I mean, if Tim Walz is going on Fox News, you know that they're desperate. That'd be like Trump going on CNN, right? I mean, they're seeing some of this data. And by the way, what Elon did, I'm going to remind people today, we could all make some money. Everything, you know, I'll take a big chunk. Hopefully I get a bunch of people, a bunch of Elon bucks, and I'll send it to Hurricane Relief. I'll probably wait now till Milton, see what happens with that in Florida. Might have to split it between it. But this is why, okay? This via Michael Prusser. Pennsylvania voter registration update 2024. Total party registration, 3.6 million Republicans, 3.9 Democrats, 1.4 million other registered voters, which means the Democrats, so Republicans need to register another 400,000 people in the next 30 days. And Elon actually has the perfect plan for it. But if you look in October, okay, Republicans outpaced Democrats by nearly double. Republicans are registering 2-to-1 rate compared to Democrats. They need more. They need more. I don't know what this is. Is this stand for independent? You know, plus 60,000 Republicans. It needs to be 400,000 in this month alone. But then they send out Tim Walz, who immediately cracks under some of the most basic pushback imaginable.
I want to clarify what the law is there in Minnesota. Abortion Finder, a website that helps women find access, says abortion is legal throughout pregnancy in Minnesota. There is no ban or limit on abortion in Minnesota based on how far along in a pregnancy you are. You signed the bill that makes it legal through all 9 months.
They're trying to say, oh, you can't abort 9-month-old babies. That's crazy talk. That's crazy Trump talk. Trump's never been more crazy, right? That's what they're saying. Except that, of course, like everything they say, is a lie. By the way, huge shout out to this video sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Sheath. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs I've ever worn. If you're sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. It's the best. You have to get a pair. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. Look, fellas and ladies, I know the idea of changing your brand for this kind of product is not something you think about often, but I promise it's worth the thought. Get one pair and it's going to change your life. The most comfortable boxer briefs you will ever put on your body. Their stretchy fabric is made out of a moisture wicking technology. They're super soft. They keep everything cool and comfortable right in place. It was a long time before I decided to try and make the change, and I absolutely love the product offering that Sheath has. Sheath is also the official underwear partner of the UFC, which is pretty cool too. Sheath is particularly useful for staying cool during the summer and while working working out. The most unique thing about Sheath is that they have these dual pouches that keep your man parts separated, which prevents things from sticking together, keeps them right where they need to be. I was a little skeptical about the dual pouch, but let me tell you, it is in fact a game changer. And by the way, if you're not into that idea, you don't have to use them. Some days I do, some days I don't. They'll be the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs you've ever worn in your life. Plus, they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling. Go to sheath.com to get the most comfortable underwear you've ever worn and use promo code THEQUARTERING, that's one word, and you'll get 20% off your order. That's sheath.com, promo code THEQUARTERING for 20% off your order. I know it can be weird, fellas, to be thinking about, changing that up, but all I can say is they've been a strong supporter of the channel. I love their products. Women love their products, and it's worth giving a try.
Is that a position you think Democrats should advocate for nationally?
Look, the vice president and I have been clear. The restoration of Roe versus Wade is what we're asking for.
But that
this
law
is a
goes
woman's
far beyond
right
Roe v. Wade.
to make her own choice. The law is very clear. It does not change that. That was been debunked on every occasion.
But
wait. Let's
agree. What you signed is there's not a single limit through 9 months of pregnancy. Roe had a trimester framework that did have limits through the pregnancy. The Minnesota law does not have that.
Tim Walz doesn't even know Roe v. Wade. Literally, the entire hope and prayer of the Kamala Harris campaign is for people that want to destroy their babies and who don't understand that Roe v. Wade was overturned at the Supreme Court level, that Donald Trump did not actually overturn that, but they think women are dumb. I don't want to be that guy, but they think women are dumb. And that they don't know that. They think that women don't know about the Supreme Court.
This puts the decision with the woman and her healthcare providers. The situation we have is when you don't have the ability of healthcare providers to provide that, that's where you end up with a situation like Amanda Zaworski in Texas, where they are afraid to do what's necessary. This doesn't change anything. It puts the decision back on to the woman, to the physicians, and we know that this is simply something to be brought up to be very clear. Donald Trump's asking for a nationwide abortion ban.
Wait, he
and
has
again,
said
we don't see this
he has
as
said
a winning
repeatedly
campaign.
that he will not sign a national abortion ban. Are you calling that it's a flat out lie?
Yes, of course. And
even though Donald Trump said 100 times that he's not going to sign a nationwide abortion ban, I'm just on here on Fox News to say, well, no, he's just lying. Evidence? Trust me, bro.
And Senator Vance has in the past said so too. Now look, they may see this as an election issue. We see it as a right of women to make their own bodily decisions. And that's what the states like my state have the ability to put that in.
What? So everything that they said about being able to terminate pregnancy at 9 months is true. Okay. Then Tim Walz gets confronted by Shannon Bream on all of his lies, from stolen valor to carrying weapons, to Tiananmen Square, to how his kids were even conceived. This is why these people won't go on any network but CNN. All it takes is like, a quick question. That seems like a lie. And they completely crumble.
Republicans came out against it long before President Trump indicated he didn't like it either. Listen, before we go, because I wish that we had a full hour, I want to give you a chance, because you called yourself a knucklehead this week, to talk about some of your misstatements. You've modified your story or explained that you misspoke about things involving your military rank, about carrying a weapon in war, your 1995 DUI arrest, using IVF to have your beautiful children, Gus and Hope, being in Hong Kong and China in the summer of 1989 during the Tiananmen events. A lot of people would say they couldn't get away with saying, I'm just too passionate, my grammar's not right, I'm a knucklehead. What do you say to the American people who think, I don't know that I can trust this guy with all those modifications to be the potential commander-in-chief of this country?
Yeah, well, I think they heard me. They heard me the other night speaking passionately about gun violence and misspeaking. And I got to be honest with you, Shannon, I don't think people care whether I used IUI or IVF when we talk about.
That's probably true. But people do care that you have a long and storied history of simply outright lying. By the way, I'm going to leave this linked in the description. Elon Musk's PAC, the America PAC. Listen to this. The First and Second Amendments guarantee freedom of speech and the right to bear arms. By signing below, I am pledging my support for the First and Second Amendment, which I've already signed. Okay. But here's where you can make money and we can build some money to donate. I want to donate a bunch of money to hurricane relief of Elon's money. That'd be great. In appreciation for the support, you will see $47 for each registered voter that you refer to sign this petition. Is where you come in. Our goal is 1 million registered voters in swing states. So if you are in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Nevada, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, or North Carolina, this will be linked in the description. Sign this petition, okay? And then in the person that referred you, put the quartering@gmail.com. And hopefully we can get 2,000 people to do this. If we do, that's a lot of relief that we can put together for pets and humans. And obviously everything that's going on impending in Florida, we're going to need money for that. So, and that's what I'm going to do with it. Okay. But you can then go make $50 a head for people to register for this. If you know people in swing states, you can still get that money, it looks like. So go sign the petition, get Elon's money, and then we'll build a nice war chest for hurricane relief because our government can't do it. Here you have Walz tries to downplay laws that he's signed granting benefits to illegals in Minnesota, not the VP's position. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz sought to distance Vice President Kamala Harris from laws that he himself signed and granted benefits to illegal immigrants on Sunday. I mean, this is a disaster. Even lefty-loving SNL mocks Kamala Harris Walz over Veep's hopeful, bumbling debate. I mean, look, I know that Tim Walz lies. And when Tim Walz lies, that's a lie. When he was on that debate stage, I'm sure he actually did misspeak. That line about, I've become friends with some of the most horrible monsters imaginable. SNL launches hilarious takedown of Tim Walz's VP debate performance, including bizarre connection with J.D. Vance and Democrats' Hail Mary. I mean, I don't know what they thought, how they thought this would go. Then you have left-wing media immediately running the most hilarious cover for Tim Walz. Tim Walz outmaneuvers Fox News host as he's grilled on abortion. What do you mean? You saw it, I saw it. That was not outmaneuvering. How about this? Tim Walz also gets fact-checked on Fox News after he tries claiming Georgia woman Amber Thurman passed away because she had to cross state lines to get medical care.
Now,
this is what happens when Democrats actually have to face the same level of scrutiny Republicans do. I'm not saying that Republicans don't lie, because they do. All politicians do, okay? But only one side ever seems to get fact-checked. Watch this hilarious meltdown.
look, they may see this as an election issue. We see it as a right of women to make their own bodily decisions. And that's what the states like my state have the ability to put that in. States like Georgia force women to cross the border, and then we have a death of Amber Thurman. So let's be very clear. Trying to cut hairs on an issue on this is not where the American public's at. They want the restoration of Roe versus Wade.
No, they don't.
Vice President Harris said she would sign it. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
She doesn't work for the Supreme Court. That's, again, they keep saying that, keep thinking women are stupid, because trust me, it's not men who are voting on this pro-abortion stance. Okay, it's women. Look, I am pro-choice, but anti-abortion, if that makes sense. I'm fine with it being at the state level. There are probably, most people are probably like me, okay? Safe and rare. That's what we want.
We're elected,
but to be clear, the Minnesota law is
women.
far beyond Roe v. Wade. And about the Amber Thurman case in Georgia, her family has, and it's tragic, she is a young mother who left behind a young son. But what her family has said is it was a complication from an abortion pill that she received.
Oops.
And she didn't get proper care when she went to a Georgia hospital, which had multiple opportunities to intervene there. Her own attorney, the family's attorney, says it wasn't the Georgia law, it was the hospitals. What he claims is malpractice, not treating her when she clearly showed up in distress and still had the
Oops. Just oopsie doopsie. I mean, oopsie doopsie. Don't worry about lies. He's just shaking his head in disbelief. He's like, I can't believe I'm getting fact checked on this lie. Tim Walz is a buffoon. Kamala Harris is a literal mouthpiece that can't even talk without a teleprompter. Register a friend vote. Get some of Elon's money. I support it. From I love the grift. So I 100% support going to get some of Elon's money. I hope you enjoyed this video. Link is in the description for that America Pack thing, and we'll talk to you again real soon.